Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining Lewis University's television network. Today is Monday, October 28, 2019. I'm Luis Chavez.
And I'm Mayette Lloyd.
And we begin with our top national stories. Firefighters have been battling wildfires in Northern California wine country and on the wealthy west side of Los Angeles today. California's biggest utility company, Pacific Gas and Electric, has cut off power to more than 2 million people in the northern part of the state over the weekend. These blackouts are aimed at preventing wind-blown electrical equipment from sparking more fires. Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James tweeted that he and his family had to evacuate their home in the city's exclusive Brentwood section.
Former Democratic Representative John Conyers of Michigan died Sunday at the age of 90. Conyers served Michigan for more than 50 years and was an active voice in the civil rights era. Conyers was a founding member of the Congressional Black Caucus, where he pushed legislation, including the Violence Against Women Act and the bill to make Martin Luther King Jr. Day a national holiday. Conyers was the longest-serving African American in Congressional history.
A Southwest Airlines flight attendant says 2 pilots live-streamed video from a hidden camera in a plane's bathroom to an iPad in the cockpit. The incident occurred in February 2017 when a pilot asked flight attendant Renee Steinacre to come into the cockpit so he could use the restroom. There, she spotted the iPad that appeared to be streaming live video of the pilot inside the airplane lavatory. Steinacre and her husband are suing Southwest for invasion of privacy, emotional distress, sexual harassment, and retaliation.
On October 19th, high school athlete Noor Abu-Karama was disqualified because she was wearing a hijab. The 16-year-old cross-country runner at Sylvania Northview High School in Ohio said she knew something wasn't right when she noticed her name didn't appear on the scoreboard at the district meet, despite the fact that she wasn't notified of any issue before the race. She said she has never had a problem about wearing her hijab in the last 3 years. The Ohio High School Athletic Association said in a statement that runners with religious headwear need to have a waiver to participate. The school was in touch with the Athletic Association after the race, and a waiver was submitted and approved. Abu Karam can now participate in a regional competition happening next weekend.
A shooting at an off-campus college party in Texas left 2 people dead and 12 others injured. Authorities say the shooting took place around midnight on Saturday at a Halloween and homecoming party for Texas A&M University. Police say one male shooter began firing at one targeted person and then randomly injuring 12 others. Authorities are still looking for the unidentified suspect. Coming up next, we'll take a look into leading local headlines.
And later, we have the latest political news. Stay with us.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
President Donald Trump made his first appearance in Chicago, and he called the city an embarrassment to the United States. Trump spoke at the annual gathering of the International Association of Chiefs of Police at McCormick Place. He slammed Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson, who skipped the event over disagreements with Trump's immigration policies, and criticized Chicago Police Department's reform. Trump has criticized Chicago for its crime and status as a sanctuary city. Protesters lined the Chicago River, blowing whistles and chanting. They then began a march downtown.
The teachers' union is still on strike this week after 8 days. Mayor Lori Lightfoot announced Sunday night that a tentative deal has been put in place for SEIU Local 73. Although a deal has been reached with SIU Local 73, the Chicago Teachers Union is still unsatisfied. The Teachers Union is calling for smaller class sizes, higher raises, and more support staff like librarians and restorative justice coordinators. The union stated they are only $38 million away from reaching a deal. Chicago Public Schools put this number at $100 million.
The Occupational Safety and Health Administration is fining a Waukegan silicone factory $1.59 million for safety violations that surfaced after an explosion that killed 4 workers last May. The agency announced last Friday it found 12 federal safety violations at this factory following the explosion. AB Specialty Silicones issued a statement saying they were cooperating with OSHA and that the explosion was an accident.
I recently had the opportunity to talk with business professor Bergman about his sales excellence program. Students have been calling the program Take a Class, Get a Job, and it's open to all students regardless of their major. 80% of last year's students received full-time job offers before the class was over. For a full interview, head over to LUTN's YouTube channel.
The Philip Lynch Theater is holding performances of the play Born Yesterday from November 15th to the 17th and November 21st to the 24th. The play follows a corrupt businessman who brings his girlfriend to Washington, D.C. After having a journalist attempt to educate her, she discovers that knowledge is power. Evening performances begin at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday matinees start at 2:30 p.m. with an additional performance at 3:30 p.m. on November 23rd. Tickets are $13 for adults, $12 for students and seniors, and $3 for Lewis students with their ID. Tickets are available at the box office Monday to Friday from 1 to 4:30 p.m. or online at the Philip Lynch Theater website. When we return, we have your day's top political headlines.
And later, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast. Stay with us.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was killed in a U.S. raid in northwestern Syria on Saturday night. President Trump made an announcement on the death of Baghdadi and said he was the world's #1 terrorist leader. After he took leadership in 2010, his force took control of parts of Syria and Iraq. He was seen as a supreme political leader and a spiritual leader by his thousands of followers. It's unclear as to who will take over as the new leader. Former Defense Secretary James Mattis's new biography reveals President Trump's personal involvement in who would win a contract to provide cloud computing services to the Pentagon. The $10 billion contract was awarded to Microsoft on Friday. Mattis's book focuses on how he tried to turn Trump's orders into ethical outcomes. According to the book, Trump ordered Mattis to screw Amazon from being able to bid on the massive contract. This is not the first time that Trump has voiced his opinion with Amazon and Jeff Bezos. Gun reform talks in the aftermath of the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting that took place last year have stalled in the wake of impeachment talks against President Trump after 2 mass shootings in Texas and in Ohio in August. Trump claimed to be working towards tougher legislation on guns, though these claims haven't materialized. The lack of focus on gun control has been an unexpected benefit for Trump and the administration to shy away from the issue during the impeachment inquiry. Trump claimed in a September 25th interview that he had spoken with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi about gun reform and that she instead wanted to turn attention to the impeachment inquiry and table the gun talks for the future.
So, Ayanna, what were some of Trump's plans about gun control before the impeachment inquiry?
So before the impeachment inquiry, he talked about boosting background checks and then also upping the penalty for people that gave false information when purchasing guns.
Hopefully we can see an update on those reforms later on. Coming up next, we have your full 5-day forecast, and later we'll have a look at sports. Stay tuned.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Hello, welcome back to LUTN News. I am Jackie Santian with the weather. Our current temperatures are at 47 degrees, humidity at 81%, with some cloudy skies and winds at 3 miles per hour. For our local temperatures, we could see a good 42 up here in Madison, 48 in Chicago, 46 in Michigan City, and 53 in Grand Rapids. For our national temperatures, 52 in Seattle, 48 in Chicago, a little warmer down here in the south, 63 in Nashville, 55 in Dallas, and as we move up, 53 in Boston. Satellite and radar, we could see some cloud coverage coming from the north, slowly moving down to the south. It looks pretty good here in Chicago. For our satellite and radar, still some more cloud coverage, but it's kind of going away as we move throughout the day. And for our 5-day forecast, we can see on Tuesday a high of 43 and a low of 34 with some AM clouds and some PM sun. Wednesday, a high of 40, a low of 36 with some rain. And for Halloween this year, a high of 39 and a low of 22 with some rain and snow. Friday, a high of 40 and a low of 30 with mostly sunny skies. Thank you for watching LUTN News. Be sure to keep up on Facebook and Twitter. Now back to Maya at the desk.
All right, Jackie, thank you so much for that update. Stay tuned for sports next.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to LUTN. I'm Matt Mohan. Lewis University's 8th annual Flyer Fan Fest took place last Thursday to open the upcoming basketball season. LUTN's Kenny Pekulski covered the event.
Lewis University kicked off the basketball season on Thursday with its annual Flyer Fan Fest. Flyer fans were treated a free pizza, raffle prizes, and a chance to win money off textbooks for the spring semester. There was also dance performances from the Flyerettes, the cheerleaders, and the women's volleyball team. Rounding out the event was a friendly competition between the men's and the women's basketball teams as they took part in a friendly three-point contest, and the men's basketball team showed off their skills in a dunking contest. Men's basketball season begins on November 1st against the University of Illinois' Fighting Illini, and the women's basketball season begins on November 6th against the Northwestern Wildcats. For LUTN TV News, this is Kenny Pekulski.
Thank you for that report, Kenny. The Lewis University hockey team held its Hockey Fights Cancer games last weekend. Reporter Reed Poland was on the site.
The Lewis University hockey team held Hockey Fights Cancer Night Friday and Saturday at the Canlin Ice Arena in Romeoville. The team wore special pink uniforms for their games against Robert Morris University. The special jerseys were auctioned off, with the proceeds going to cancer research.
We raised over $200 last night. We're hoping to do the same tonight, and we'll add that to the money donated for the jerseys, and we'll give it all to the breast cancer research.
The night was capped off by a 7-2 Flyer victory, including 4 goals from senior forward Chris Esty, a special win on an even more special night, supporting a cause close to all.
I lost a couple friends and actually my mother-in-law a few years ago to cancer, so this kind of hits home, with some of the feelings and that I've had to deal with over the past few years and still have to deal with every day.
Yeah, my grandma had breast cancer a few years back, but she beat it, so that's good. And she also got my jersey tonight, so that means a lot.
For LUTN TV News, I'm Reed Poland.
Thank you for that story, Reed. Now for some NFL recaps. After getting shellacked by the formidable New Orleans Saints, the Bears followed up last week's disappointment with another crushing defeat on Sunday. The Bears, who dominated the game from a statistical point of view, blew several red zone opportunities and were forced to attempt 5 field goals. Bears kicker Eddie Pinheiro missed 2 of the 5, including one in the final seconds that punctuated a 17-16 loss to the lowly Los Angeles Chargers. Quarterback Mitchell Trubisky once again had a subpar performance, throwing an interception and losing a fumble. The Bears are now 3-4 on the season, and it seems as though their once lofty expectations are now completely and utterly dashed. In briefs, the Blackhawks were destroyed at the hands of the Carolina Hurricanes on Saturday by a final score of 4-0. The Hawks had lost 4 straight at that point, but rebounded nicely with a 5-1 win over the LA Kings on Sunday. The Hawks are now 3-5-2 on the season, but sit dead last in the Western Conference. The Bulls were annihilated by the defending champion Toronto Raptors on Saturday by a final score of 108-84. The Raptors had an all-around team effort with 5 players in double figures, led by Pascal Siakam with 19. The Bulls fall to 1-2 on the season and play the New York Knicks tonight at Madison Square Garden. In the MLB, the Houston Astros have ferociously climbed back into the World Series. After dropping the first 2 at home, the Stros have now won 3 in a row on the road, including last night's 7-1 domination over the Washington Nationals. Houston now stands 1 win away from the title as they host Game 6 of the Best of 7 tomorrow night back in Houston. That's all for sports. I'm Matt Mohan. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you for that update, Matt. That's it for today's news. Thank you for watching. As a reminder, you can always keep up with Lewis News on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and by visiting our website, charliemedia.press. I'm Luis Chavez.
I'm Mayette Lloyd.
I'm Ayana Squires with Politics.
I'm Jackie Santillan with the weather.
Have a great night.